Here we go. Welcome back. I am Mr. Bishop, the guy looking tired out in front of the school right there. This is day 4, part C, the third part of day 4. We're talking about how to solve systems of equations with matrices. Now, in the last video, we talked about putting matrices into row echelon form. And we even learned that REF command, which allowed us to plug our answers in and work up the chain, if you will, to solve the system. Well, today we've got a little bit more of a powerful tool to talk about, and that is reduced row echelon form, or RREF, if you will. So reduced row echelon form, if I can give you a brief example, still has ones across the diagonal, but then above and below the ones, it's got zeros in the coefficient side of our augmented matrix here. And then it still has whatever values are located in the answer column. Now, what's nice about a reduced row echelon form matrix is when I put this back into XYZ form, I have my answers right away. I know 1x equals whatever number is here, and 1y equals whatever number is here. So essentially, the solving is done at that point. If I can get my matrix into reduced row echelon form, I can look right across the way for my x answer and my y answer. Or if it's 3 equations that we're dealing with, reduced row echelon form, RREF, would look like this. Right? It's got ones across the diagonal, zeros above and below the ones, and then you still have the values over here in the answer part of our augmented matrix. So again, if we have our matrix expressed like this in reduced row echelon form, we can start to just read the answers off. X equals whatever number is here, y equals whatever number is here, and z equals whatever number is here. So we've automatically got those answers as soon as we switch it to x, y, z form. So reduced row echelon form is a really powerful tool that we'll use. And to summarize, all we're looking for there is you have ones along the diagonal, right, in the coefficient part of the matrix, and then zeros above and below the ones. I've got my TI-84 app. Let's go ahead and talk about number 1 from the worksheet for today. You might look at it and be a little bit intimidated, like how am I going to solve that for X, Y, and Z? You know, I've had to do it before in Algebra 1 or Algebra 2. And, maybe this RREF thing is something that you wish you would have known about back then, because we're really going to make this thing more manageable. So let's start by putting this thing into an augmented matrix that we could type into our calculator here. Here we go. 2, 1, negative 1, and 2. 1, 1, and 2, and then 1, 3, 2, and 1. And that's what I'll type into my calculator here. So let's see here. I'm going to go to second matrix. It's in blue there, the x to the little negative 1. Let's go ahead and edit matrix A. We got to tell our calculator what the matrix is here. Whoops, let's go back here. Let's edit matrix A. Arrow over to edit. Hit enter. And then the dimensions, let's see, we've got 3 horizontal rows by 4 vertical columns. So it's a 3 by 4. Let's type in the entries. 2, 1, negative 1, 2 for the first one. 1, 1, 1, 2 for the second row. 1, 3, 2, 1 for the third row. Okay, just double checking to make sure I entered it correctly, because if even one number's off, it's going to wreck my answer, right? So now I've told my calculator what the matrix is. Now let's use the RREF command to put this into reduced row echelon form and see what that does for us. So I'm just going to leave this blank for now. Let's go back to the home screen. So I'm going to hit second quit. That's the mode button right there. And let's go do some matrix math. So hit second matrix and go to the math options. What function do we want to apply here? Let's see. Today we're talking about reduced row echelon form. There it is, RREF. And now your calculator is like, okay, I'll do RREF. What would you like me to apply that function to? And we want to do it to matrix A. So let's go call up matrix A. So second matrix by name right there, matrix A, hit enter. All right, drum roll please, let the suspense build. Reduced row echelon form looks like that. You'll notice it's got the ones and zeros. Let me go ahead and copy that down. So 1, 0, 0 for the first column, 0, 1, 0 for the second column, 0, 0, 1, and then 2, negative 1, 1. And look at what we just turned this system of equations into. So a bit more powerful for RREF in this case, right? Wow, we could get the answer key pretty quickly. Let's go ahead and put this back into XYZ form here. So we have x equals 1x equals 2. Whoops, that was kind of crazy. X equals 2. 1y is equal to negative 1. And then z is equal to 1. There you go, an XYZ form, there you have it. Or if you would like it in an order tripled, we could just do 2, negative 1, 1 for x, y, z. That's it. Do RREF in your calculator. Man, that makes life easy, doesn't it? If only someone would have told you about that trick a year or two ago. All right, back to the iPad here, where my writing and sound quality is much better. There's one special case I want to look at, one quick example. Let's say you do RREF, right? You've got a system of equations, and your calculator spits out something like this. So the first row, you got 1, 0, 0, 9. The second row, 0, 1, 0, negative 4. And then you look at the third row, and it's kind of odd based on what we talked about so far. It's 0, 0, 0, 2. So I can see where there's an obvious answer, like you might say x equals 9 or y equals negative 4. But down here, this is like saying 0z or just 0 equals 2. So that's where I take issue with, is that last row. If you get something like this, where you have an issue in that last row, you'll notice, 0 equals 2, like that's what it's trying to suggest. And obviously that's a false statement, right? So if you get done and you notice there's a false statement, it's the same thing that you might have seen when you did elimination in the past, right? If you try to eliminate between a couple equations and you get something that comes out as a false statement, like 0 equals 2, for example, we know that this system has no solution, okay? So I did want to point out that special case within this video. All right, guys, so we talked about RREF, reduced row echelon form, and now you guys are going to be solving these linear systems like crazy, right, with your calculator. Really fast, really efficient. You know what to do and what to look for now. All right, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.